Good evening, folks. Oh, let's pull that down a bit. There we go. Sunday evening, 9 o'clock, train time. Hiya, folksies. Right, we've got loads of people here. Loads and loads. Xavier, Gary, Seamus, Simon, Victor, Matthew, Mark, Anthony, CJ, Fatus, Fixer, PC, Overkill, Mark, Victus, Real, Tamzin, Carlos, Bill, Jez, Fred, Shane, Critical, Anne, Train, Irons in the Fire. I'm having to take breaths in between these. There's more. There's Matt. There's tons of you. AW Review. Kent Galpin of the Paint Shack. Love that. Hello, folks. Good evening. Happy Sunday night. Right, what a busy week it's been. This has probably been my most busiest, non-terrain week. But I'm slightly distracted at the moment because all hell is breaking loose upstairs. Yeah, I can hear a Hoover going and kids arguing. So I'm not quite sure, and it only kicked in just as I went live. So, I don't know what they've done. Yes. It has me concerned, to be perfectly honest. So yes, what you call it? What's the video quality on this feed like tonight, guys? It looks a little rough from my side, but I can never tell. Let me flick over to the... My actual stream thing isn't working. Great. Here we go. Start the night. Right, come on. I am streaming, aren't I? It is working. Please tell me it's working. Yeah, it is working. It doesn't look too bad. A little overexposed. But I'm using the default webcam on the actual laptop tonight. Yeah, because I've been running around a lot this weekend and I forgot to pick up the other one. And that's probably... I've got no control over that. Anyway, You're glowing, Mel. I know I'm glowing. Believe it or not, there's next to no light in this room whatsoever. Perhaps that's the issue. Perhaps I am a little bit... Perhaps the luminosity is causing a bit of rasterization. Hey, look at these terms. So, why do I know these terms? Right, okay, what have I been doing this week? Well, first off, massive thank you. Massive thank you to all you guys. The computer turned up. Okay, Jace dropped it off at the start of the week. It is just down there. Oh, that's a bit better, isn't it? Colour-wise? See, I'm learning this sort of stuff. Yeah, Jace dropped it off, start of the week. And it is a monster thing. Absolute monster of a beast of a computer. Yeah? Standard def channel on a 4K TV. Dude. How do you stay so slim, Mel? I never stop, mate. I've never been really good at putting on weight, to be perfectly honest. You know, I think the most I ever got up to was about 12.5 stone, and that's when I was squatting. Yeah, most of my life I've been about 11 stone. And to be truthful, I think I'm a bit under at the minute, because I know even Kez turned around and said, you know what, you need to go back to the gym. Because my life is busy with computers and terrain, but there's not much heavy lifting involved, you know what I mean? A lot of the times in my past, I've always had quite physical jobs, or done physical stuff, and I'm sort of noticing it, to be perfectly honest. Yeah? Just slightly off topic there. So anyway, get me back on topic. It's going to be a rambly episode tonight, isn't it? Right, so anyway, start of the week, massive thank you to all of you guys who donated, on the live streams. The computer turned up. It's fast. Yeah. My old computer had, I think when I upgraded it, the maximum it could take was 4 gig of RAM. Yeah. I think this one's got 32 on the motherboard and 32 on the graphics card. So 64 gig of RAM from 4 gig of RAM. Yeah, my old computer, I thought it had reasonable storage with half a terabyte. This has got 6 terabytes in it. 2 terabytes on like a hybrid flash drive thing, which is really quick for working. And then I've got a 4 terabyte drive for for a separate drive for my actual storage of all my stuff. Yeah, and I've got the network drive, so I've got my storage, my backup, all that sort of sorted. You could go back to the warehouse, Mel. Oh, Bill, don't. Do you know what? There was... it's been a bit up and down. You know, I don't want to talk about money and all that sort of stuff, but it's been a bit up and down. We've got a bit tight coming to the end of summer. Yeah, because we're also supported by Kerry's Student Finance. Now, Kerry gets Student Finance, in September, January and April. Yeah, and April to September is like a 6-month gap. It's the longest gap, and I almost considered it. But no, I'm soldiering on with the tray. I'm going for it. Can you imagine Mel Hench? Hey, I don't beef up, to be perfectly honest. I don't really beef up when I go to the gym. I go more slim athletic. You know what I mean? I get a bit of muscle bulk, but I tend to tone a lot. Yeah, a lot of the time I do. I'm not really into sort of bulk building. You know, I have what's known as an ectomorphic frame. Yeah. An ectomorphic frame is a slim person, and for a slim person to actually put on serious bulk, it's really challenging. Okay, and I've no need of it. Yeah, but I do need to put a bit on. Can you still buy Frazzles? I thought went the same way as Spangles. Oh no, Frazzles are still available. Mel, you need to start selling something. Brand Mel, I do need to do something like that. Jace is bullying me on that. Yeah, I have actually spoken, to a couple of people about maybe manufacturing resin pieces. Yeah, because to be truthful, I do need something that isn't just YouTube. What does Philip DeFranco call it? Diversifying, spreading lots of eggs in your basket. You know what I mean? You and saying he's an endomorph, like the other 7 fat dwarves. No, endomorph and ectomorph, they're 2 basic body types. Yeah, short and squat, tall and thin. Yeah, for the life of me, I can't remember the middle one. The average one. Endomorph, ectomorph, and... yeah. Make a few commissions or something if you need to. To be truthful and sane, the one thing about commissions is it takes me away from the channel. You know what I mean? And the whole point of this was to sort of see if I could do it without the commissions. But I do know that Salute's coming up in April. I know that Foreground will want a table. Yeah, so yeah, that's like the emergency of I can ring Foreground up and say, all right, do you want a table? And they'll go, yes, of course we do. You know, and I can get, if it really hits the fan. But the thing with doing commissions is, they do take me away from the channel a bit, so... Mesomorph, that's it. Endomorph, ectomorph and mesomorph. It's been a long time since I was a physio, guys. I still remember quite a lot, but the odd term slips away. Hey, I'm 28. So yeah, anyway. So Jace dropped off the computer. Thank you, guys. Really, thank you. Yeah, it is absolutely stonking. Now, I cannot tell you, how much quicker I can render videos on it. I can tell you how much quicker I can edit and that sort of stuff a lot quicker. Yeah, but with changing system, I've had to buy into the Adobe Creative Cloud. Yeah, because I didn't have the software. To reinstall that I was using Sony Vegas. Yeah, onto my new computer. So I've had to buy it. And I thought while I was buying, I've heard Premiere is really good for multi-camera editing, which is one of the things I wanted this PC for. And so I jumped onto that. Yeah, and so, but I don't know how to use it. Or I didn't know how to use it. So most of this week, Tuesday, Wednesday was spent, teching up, sorting learning Premiere. Thursday, I went on a photography course. We've got the local council run a business support unit called Factory Creative Industries. And their job is to find funding, and then with that funding, put on workshops for creative businesses in Stoke, to help improve them. Yeah, and it's run by a guy called Mark Wotton. Yeah, absolutely top bloke. But he's mates with this sort of really big photographer yeah, professional photographer, does work for Apple and that sort of stuff, who happens to live in a little village on the outskirts of Stoke. And he managed to get this like 3-day crash. Oz, come lie down. I'm sick of your nails, man. Lie down. Lie down. Good boy. That's bad. I feel like I'm shouting over the dog. No, but he condensed this 3-day product photography course. Yeah, and he condensed it into one long day. You know, it was supposed to be sort of 9 till 4:30. And at the very start, he says, look, you can go at 4:30, but I highly recommend you stay. Yeah, and you just stay until we finish. And we didn't finish till late. That's why there was no live show on Thursday. Also, that's the reason why there's been no videos. It's been a tech week and that sort of stuff. And I really haven't been making terrain at all, really. Yeah. But damn, he threw out as thick and fast. Mark Woodhouse Photography. Brilliant bloke. Mark, if somehow you ever come across this video, thank you, mate. Really, thank you.
I am Cornholio.
Corbin's been going on about Rick and Morty, so I decide...
I am Cornholio.
Okay, lad. We're alright, lad. Come on. Yeah, what you call it? Corbin was going on about Rick and Morty. And so I decided to show him the Rick and Morty of my generation. And so I showed him Beavis and Butthead. And ever since that, all we've had is, I am Cornholio. You have watchers outside the door. Ah, hey, Crawley. Yeah, do a book. I've been thinking about that. Yeah. I want to talk about the castle project in a little while. But anyway, went on a product photography course. Now, my challenge is that all this video production stuff, all this photography stuff, it's completely new to me. I've never been taught it at all. And so I learn as I go on. I'm not the best learner when it comes to technology. Yeah, it confuses me and, you know, I'm not brilliant with it. Yeah, but to have that crash course, yeah, oh wow, I understand it. I understand. I mean, I understand about the lighting. I understand about exposure. I understand about apertures. I understand about shutter speeds. I understand about luminosity, vibrancy, saturation, the hues. Yeah, I understand about taking photos in their raw format. Yeah, so not your standard JPEG photos on your phone, but the raw actual camera image. So you can load it into Adobe Premiere Raw and actually adjust the raw photo. And I did it with some photos I'd taken of some scatter terrain I did for a tutorial a little while ago. And oh my god, yeah, it was like they went from this horrible, overexposed, yeah, to damn, they look good. Yeah, so I'm really chuffed with myself. Yeah, so this week terrain-wise has been a washout. Yeah, technology-wise, I honestly feel like I've stepped up. I mean, I'm wondering which side of the screen to raise there, but you know what I mean? It's like there's a lot more I understand. I even went out and I spent 20 quid on a grey sheet. Kaz? Yeah? Can you bring my grey sheet in, please? Yeah. She's a keeper, isn't she? Photography is easy. I took a course in high school and I made half the final exam project on the way to school. Dude, but useful for your work, I suppose. It is useful. The thing is, yeah, that photography is one of those things that I've sort of discovered that once you understand the basics, yeah, you're blown in. It's easy. It actually is relatively easy. But until you understand those basics and you understand them clearly, yeah, and someone makes them fit together, yeah, it's challenging as hell. Right, you want to go in the kitchen? Go on. Don't look at me. I've not got food for you. It's not food, Oz. It's not food. I'm sorry. What's up? Are you wasting away? Oh, what's up? Oh, he's a poor lad. Are you threatening me? Politics, no politics here. We don't need politics. Time for coffee. I will be back. I've got coffee here. No point making excellent miniatures than trying to show them off with lousy photo skills. Yeah, it's always been a challenge for me, to be perfectly honest, because I've always felt that my photos have never, met up to what I'm actually taking a photo of. Do you know what I mean? One of the common things that people will say to me, when they see my terrain at a show and they comment on it, with stuff that's been to Salute, stuff that's been over to Gen Con, is, oh my god, it's amazing when you see it in person. And I completely understand that, because I am utterly shite at taking photos. Do you know what I mean? And that's the challenge. Oz, come on, go out. Oh. That dog needs to go to the vets to have his nails clipped, because that is ridiculous. Oh, Peter, they're coming up, don't worry. Right, but no, So yeah, my photography skills have upped. I'm still learning a lot on Premiere. Yeah, it's a steep learning curve. Yeah, because I've got to learn to do everything I could do before, like adjust the sound. And it's a lot more complicated in Premiere. Yeah, unless someone knows of some really easy tips for normalising sound in Premiere. The email address is on screen. Yeah. And then on Saturday, we had the studio open days, which was really good, really busy. Yeah, loads of artists in, loads of people. I had people coming in and showing my stuff off to all sorts of people. We had the faculty of Manchester School of Arts down visiting. Yeah, and they came in, and various staff members, professors and stuff, and lecturers came in and talked, and they were really interested in the patron stuff. I wonder if they're that, as artists, they're that much out of the loop now, because they're in education, that they haven't really realised, they must know about Patreon and stuff like that. Oh, you on about Adobe Premiere Pro? I am, mate. Did they teach you how to use the forehead as a reflector? No, but I have discussed makeup with Kerry. But I picked this up. Check this out. 20 quid. Did you know when you white balance something, you shouldn't use a white sheet, because white isn't a balance of colour, it's the absence of colour. What you should use is a grey sheet. Now the problem is, what you need is a grey sheet with equal amounts of red, green and blue. And it's incredibly challenging to get one of these sheets outside professional photography. And so I just thought, right, okay, bite the bullet. The guy recommended a couple of things, and this was the cheapest of the lot. Ha! So, white sheet. I know I just said you shouldn't do it on a white sheet, but in low light intensity, you use a white sheet. And then in in normal, you use a grey colour balance grey with a focusing target, which means I can put this in front of my of my stuff I'm doing. I can now colour balance on it, which means you will actually see the proper colours that I'm working at. And on top of that, I can manually set the focus. So we've got none of those focusing things going on. Are you going to bed? Go on then. I'll tell you what, it's like herding ducks in this house. So, a really good investment, I'm thinking. You should use a grey or a blue sheet. I've got this now. This is what I'm using. Honestly, Mel's quite a nifty crafter. 3 Spartans. We were by far one of my favourite YouTubes. Thank you, dude. Adobe Premiere is fun. You can make a video without any video, eh? Dude, used it for making promo videos at work. Nice. Rudy, nice. Go on, wrap up. I can't get it back to wrap up. There's a trick to it where you fold it in on it. There you go. So yeah, and then on the open day, I had loads of people coming in, and that was really nice. But I want to give a quick shout out to some people that I know are watching. Yeah, I'm going to quick chat about the lady of the couple. First off, Rob and Lisa, thank you for calling in and coming to see me. Yeah, now, Rob and Lisa came in to see me on the open day at the studios on yesterday. And let's just say, Lisa started my morning off with a bang. Oh, calm down. I've just realised they like watching me in bed. Yeah, so let's calm down. I don't mean it like that. Okay, I'd got in, and to be truthful, with the open days, you expect people to start drift. You don't expect people to charge in. It opened at 11, and I was sort of thinking, we're going to get people wandering in about 20 past, you know what I mean? Yeah, but anyway, it was about just coming up on 11, and I thought, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go get a fresh brew, I'll go for a quick fag, and then I'm done for a good few hours because I was in the studio on my own. I've got a brew, I've got some drinks down there, I've had a nicotine fix. And I go to step out my studio and I just shut the door, and there's like a short corridor, yeah, because I'm sort of in a like top of a building, so we've got a short corridor down to the stairs. And this couple walked round the stairs, yeah, which, you know, I sort of looked up and I thought, oh, trading already. Yeah, and the woman screamed, "Mel!" as loud as she could. I mean, everyone on the top floor physically jumped a little. Yeah, and it certainly shocked me into life. So, Lisa, thank you, darling. Listen, that was probably the best way of waking me up on a Saturday morning I've had in a long time. Yeah, I think you shocked a few of the other artist residents. Yeah, but it was really good. It was really good to meet you guys. Yeah, it was a good laugh chatting with you, to be perfectly honest. You're right, Rob. Yeah, but my God, do you know what? How do I say this? I'm really trying to word this carefully. I don't even know if I can word it carefully, guys. Okay, it's been a long time since anyone screamed my name like that. I'll tell you what, this YouTube celebrityness. But no, it was a brilliant day. It was really nice meeting Rob and Lisa. Yeah, bit of a rough night. What you call it? There was a party afterwards. It was running from 6. Well, it started at 6 and then it basically went on through the night, as I understand it. But I was staying for a couple of hours just to mingle with the artists in the studios afterwards. You know, in like sort of our small gathering party. Yeah, that we were having. They have one every year at the end of the open days to sort of thank the studios for opening up. And what you call it? Willow, I got the kids with me, and Willow wasn't feeling well, so I had to bail out of that, and then we had a rough night with her, to be perfectly honest. She's fine now, yeah, but just screwed up today completely. Yeah, no worries, Gary. So yeah, this week that I've been talking about for what, near on 20 minutes. It's been busy. It's been really busy. It's been a good week, but so much technical stuff. Wow. That was almost a battle to tell you about my week. Yeah, but really good, guys. I understand photography. I'm getting there with Premiere Pro. The open day was great, but I need to get stuck into filming and making bunkers and stuff like that. So Mel is a celebrity now. Next step. Oh, no chance. No one's calling me sir. I work for a living. And that's a hell of a that's a hell of a comment. Where's Jace? Jace has got a lot on these next couple of weeks, to be perfectly honest. Did you get to go to Derby Worlds? No, I didn't, with Willow being ill. You know, and I heard a couple of guys drop me a line on Messenger who'd been on the Saturday to sort of say, look, if you're coming for the terrain, you know, I'd skip it. And they sent me a few photos of what they thought was, you know, the best, and it was like, do you know what, with Willow, if it had been an awesome setup, you know what I mean, I think I would have made the effort, even if it was just me and we didn't do it as a family day. Yeah, but with Willow being down and me looking at it, and it was like, nah. Hey, Westside, I got to ask, mate, is there any specific PVA I should use when making my boards? Well, clone, pretty typically any will do. I like one called Baker Ross because it's raw PVA. Yeah, but any PVA will do. So anyway, that was my week. Yeah, now next week is terrain, and more terrain. Yeah, I'm working out on the castle build. I've got loads of stuff going on. I'm still working on the acrylic cork and stuff. That cobblestone road, that turned out really nice. That's painted up really nice. Couple issues with volume on a couple of the cobblestones. They've sort of sunk in the middle, leaving the edges raised. But I think that's more to do with the amount of water that was on them. Why don't you ever use Mod Podge? Is it too expensive? Mod Podge is essentially PVA. If you pull the technical data sheets, the technical safety data sheets for Mod Podge, you'll find the main ingredient to Mod Podge is PVA. The only the major difference between Mod Podge and PVA is that Mod Podge has a gel in it, okay, to make it jelly, to give it more of to increase its viscosity. Now, a lot of the times when we're working with PVA, I thin it down. So the gel element of Mod Podge, I would be watering down to get PVA. Hello, baby. We'll keep your bottom off YouTube. So the way I look at it is, what's the point in buying Mod Podge to water it down to PVA when it's more expensive than just buying PVA? Now, I do use Mod Podge. I use it for applications where the gel element of it, works in my favour. So quite often I will use Mod Podge in situations where I'm attaching clump or anything which isn't meeting up nice and tight. If there's any sort of gaps in the surface, where I'm gluing stuff down, Mod Podge is great at making sure as much glue as possible bridges that gap. Sorry, Ant, I didn't see him, mate. Too busy talking. Star Wars Legion looks cool. I'm doing my normal thing on that. I reached out to Fantasy Flight Games because I had a load of people ask me if I'd do tutorials on it, and I thought, right, if I'm going to do Star Wars Legion tutorials, then I want some sort of nod of approval from Fantasy Flight, because I do not want IP and copyright issues on my channel. So I reached out to the legal department and I reached out to their marketing department, and I haven't had anything back. And then I might chase it in another week or so, just see, just to get a definitive answer. But unless I get an approval from them that, you're okay doing these, Mel, then I'm not going to do them. Because I must admit, I do like the look of the game and I like the IP and that sort of stuff. So, but I ain't going anywhere near it unless, the IP, the copyright issues is sort. Mod Podge is great for gluing paper strips of stringles. It's dry as soon as you're ready to place the next course. Bill, get yourself some proper PVA, mate. Get yourself some raw industrial PVA. Because that's exactly the same, mate. It'll dry. Put it on thin. It'll dry in no time. How do you apply glue to leather? Jez, can you answer that for me, please, mate? Building an industrial modeler board with many different rooms. I was thinking I could use plain kits to get loads of mad techie bits and bobs, but everything is expensive. Know of any affordable brands? Skip away from what you want to be looking at is Pegasus Hobbies chemical plant kit. Westy, go and have a look at Pegasus Hobbies chemical plant kit. The other option is go and have a look at possibly investing in some Hearst Arts industrial moulds and start casting up engine parts and valves and stuff yourself out of casting powder or resin. Because, once you've invested in the moulds, you can cast those parts as many times as you want. Do you answer emails from your webpage? I answer from... I didn't even realise... Well, I know I've got a webpage. I answer my comments. To be truthful, I spend a lot of time answering. So if I haven't answered you, mate, email me on the email address on screen. I had an idea about your book. You could do a series based on Where's Wally, where you could Where's a Kez hidden in the terrain-related pictures. That's brilliant. Put in little windows and stuff like that. Where's Kez? I might do that. Ewan. I've just painted my first Stormcaster terminal. Sprayed silver, painted a bit of red, tied up the edges with a silver Sharpie, applied a wash of brown. I'm rather pleased. Good on you, dude. I use wood glue too. Raw PVA is slightly different. Raw PVA is weird because if you put a drop down, it isn't pure white. It's translucent. It's white in the centre and it's translucent around the edges, and that's when you know you've got the good stuff. Train sets are good for signs. Trains and car sets are good for signs and that sort of stuff. If you're after gribbly bits, I don't know if they do them over in the Netherlands, but in the UK we have something called a car boot sale. Yeah, and these are things where basically at local village halls and car parks and fields around the country on a Sunday or a Saturday, yeah, hundreds of people go with their absolute crap, and what they do is they drive all the cars on, and they get out of their cars, and then they get a table and they put it at the back of the car just before the boot, yeah, and then they open the boot and they lay the crap out and they sell it for next to nothing, 10p's, 20p's, yeah, and it's all sorts of crap, yeah. It's a British pastime. You go out and you can spend a good morning walking around hundreds of stalls of absolute crap, yeah, and you can pick up some amazing stuff for nothing. Yeah, it's great for the kids because you can give them like £3, yeah, and they come away with all sorts of stuff. Do you have any good ways of making grapevines for a vineyard? You're basically looking at small bits of clump foliage attached to wire, yeah. Now you can get some you can get some metallic green wire. You can thread it through a needle, okay, yeah, twist it, and then get lots of little bits of clump and just needle straight through them and use them as hanging grapes. You can use twine and all that sort of stuff as well. Should I do a video on grapevines? Vineyards. Would you like a video on vineyards, guys? Because there's a few different techniques. Also, it's not just the... I mean, I don't know much about... I have to do a lot of... Just double check. It's a bit like the coconuts. I think I know what grapevines are like and that sort of stuff. But, you know, until I've discovered it's always best to double check. Yeah, I emailed technology, but... Okay, I missed something. Hey, but I'm making a final fourth year project. It's this best way to achieve brick texture. Best way to achieve hitting it with a brick. No, I mean, to be truthful, the best way to get brick texture on any sort of foam is rock impression. Get a good rock and bang, 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 bang. Other one is a big ball or a big roller of tin foil. We did go and have a look is it in the Back to Basics? We did texturing blue foam with rollers. And there's a technique where you can use a rolling pin, or in your case, yeah, perhaps a big tube, sheets of aluminium foil, all crumpled up and then repeatedly layered and glued, yeah, to make this sort of texture rolling pin. You just roll that over it. Know what's going on up there. No worries, Andrew, I'll check it out, mate. Vineyards and more farm stuff. Oh, I'm getting organised, yeah, with my Kerry got me this as a way of organising my tutorials and that sort of stuff, the amount of different tutorials and ideas, because I'm all over the place with the series at the minute. You guys keep coming up with more suggestions. Hello? Oh, okay. Come here, princess.
I heard what Corbin did. He came up and after ran into my room and said...
Did he? Should I have shown Corbin Beavis and Butthead?
No.
Right, are you here for me or YouTube? She's going in a second. She's just having a love.
Wait, where's the camera? Is that the camera?
There's no camera on. I'm not broadcasting.
That's the camera.
No, it's what you call it. It's not actually live. We're not actually streaming. No one's actually watching.
It says. Dad, you know I can check, right?
You're getting too smart for your dad, you are. Right, young Missy, it's a school day tomorrow.
Hello.
Okay, right.
Everybody, say hello, Willow, and I can stay up.
No, she can't.
Hi, Willow.
Yes, they've all said hi. Now everybody say good night, Willow.
Nobody say good night,
bedtime.
Willow. He didn't say anything. He's not even here. He's not
She
even
is
here.
getting big, you know. Do you know what? Corbin is taller than Kerry.
Yep, he's not here.
Yeah,
He's
there you
not
go.
here.
Everyone sit right. Willow, please.
You're nearly as big as your dad.
Everyone's saying
bigger.
good night. So it's bedtime now, darling.
Right, it's 25 to 10. Kids.
Yeah.
1.
Okay.
Right,
Wait,
cool.
when did he get down?
2.
Go. Give me a kiss.
We can't say good night.
Come on then. You were told to come down early and forget your drink and say goodnight.
Love you, big man.
I love you all the world.
Go on.
I
have fun. Go. Into bed now, please. Love you all the world. Good night.
Right.
It is a
Stop your
school
drama.
night. Come on.
Go on. I'll see. I'll come give you a kiss after my show. Go on. Willow Bose. Come on now. No, you've had a drink. Off to bed, young lady. I know you're an actress, so don't even start. Child abuse. Because I won't give her a drink because she's already had one before bed. Child abuse. Shout at me once. I'll ring child line because I told her she had to tidy her room. Yes, it's a Sunday night, isn't it? We can't have the Sunday night without the kids crashing the feed at some point. So vineyards you wanted. Right, let me find. I just want to make sure we didn't actually put them in the medieval, because vineyards, I'm thinking, are more countryside scenics, aren't they? Yeah, so vineyards for countryside scenics. Mal, how do you get your kids to listen that well? To be truthful, they're good kids. Do you know what I mean? I very rarely really have to shout at them, and they very rarely embarrass me or, you know, misbehave badly. They play up like all kids do, you know, and I think as a parent you've got to have a bit of an elastic band to it. Do you know what I mean? And what I mean by that is there's times when you've got to be a little bit tight, you know what I mean, and keep them in check. And there's other times when you've just got to let it slide and just smile at them, you know, because the way I look at it is the kids will play up, they will push boundaries, they will test things, they will do crazy things, because that's kids. That's what I was like. Yeah. I think if you give them the room, yeah, to play up a little, you know, when it's not so important. Yeah, they don't mind you sort of tightening up when it is important. You know, when you're out with people and you need to make a good impression. Or like tonight, you know, when, right guys, it is bedtime. Come on. You know, and it's like, all right, Dad's been serious. Time to call it. So yeah, it's just trying to raise your kids right, mate. I'm doing a magical mushroom forest diorama for my niece for a little pet shop animals. They're about 5-6 centimetres high, and I'm looking for some flower ideas in mini. That's 28mm, ain't it? No, that 5-6 centimetre. What could you use for tufts for that? What I'd suggest, okay, is go and buy, yeah, some cheap hog's hair small brushes. Now, hog's hair small brushes, they're typically, the cheap ones are typically really light wooden handles, and hog's hair is the, almost grey, stiff, bristly hair brushes. Yeah, they're quite good. It's a particular style. Yeah, the Chinese hog hair. Yeah, I've always thought you've got to be brave to shave a hog, haven't you? Yeah, they also do badger hair, but they're a little bit more expensive. I think you've got to pay the guy who shaves a badger a bit more. You know what I mean? Oh, I could ask Kez for badger hair, because she shaves badgers. But yeah, get those. And then what you can do is run super glue around the bottom, then cut them off, then PVA across the top, and put flock on. And that'll make your little flower tufts. That's how I do them for what would it be? 1/25th? Da-da-da. Rudy, I keep having to repost. I didn't see that one either. For Premiere Pro, there's a site called Undemo Register. Search for Premiere Pro. There's a complete one for. What do you mean Premiere Pro? There's a complete what, Rudy? I've already bought it. You can shave that dog right too. Yeah, but his hair is rubbish for brushes. I've got Chinese hag hair brushes. Ever done subway underground tunnels or any ideas for how to do them? In what sense, mate? Before Westy goes on his urban cacti trip. Oh, thank you then, dude. Awesome. Nice one, Rudy. Oh, God. You have been paid, but it's not just Rudy. Pretty much it is just Rudy. Well, actually, it's Rudy and Rich. I've got to get some people on the screen. Listen, we've had 14 from Rudy, yeah, and we've had, a tenner from Rich. So thank you, guys. Let me get you on the screen, because you deserve to go on the screen. So we got Rich. Rich S. Thank you, buddy. And Rudy. There you go. Thanks, guys. Treasure moments like that, mate. They grow up so fast and you will wonder where they... Mate, they are growing up so quickly. So quickly. But, you know, luckily I am around for it. You know, and I do make the time to be with it. It's for Vineyards, Mel. Mel, I know you don't watch them. I did Urban Cacti myself. Did you get my comment from earlier? No, Brian, I didn't. Arctic palm trees. Westy, what are you on about? Right, so thank you, Rudy. I will jump on that. Cat. Cat's just jumped onto the bloody PayPal train and watch it. Stream Hero. Cat's thrown 20 in the mix. Thank you, Cat. Right, Jason got me putting targets on here, and I'll be honest with you, targets work really well for fundraising on live streams. But after you guys got me my computer, I thought, well, I'll calm it down a bit, you know. Yeah. And so I wasn't making a big song and dance of, you know, the support the channel thing tonight. And I haven't been doing it on my live streams much. But I think if you guys... Well, that's covered the watch club. That's covered the grey screen, yeah, and that's covered my learning Premiere Pro. So I'll take that as a win any day. Thank you, guys. I'll have to go dark for a couple of weeks, so a little something. Thank you, Kat. Yeah, hope you're all right, Duck. Excellent tutorials, George. Thank you, buddy. Hi, geeks and plastic nerds. We're not really plastic nerds, are we? We're crafters. I'm sure you get this loads, but for my first board, I'm looking to make something for bolt action. No idea what to make. Any ideas for a good first board? Not sure what to put onto a board. Go and have a look at the Let's Makes playlist, mate, and just pick out of there. They're all designed to be like first board tutorials. And if you're getting into bolt action, yeah, the Battlefield Basics, all those videos will apply, yeah, and all the countryside scenics. And that'll get you started. That's what they're there for. Song and dance, no. We got to go big. You got to make Mel cry for a dance. Or you'll have me dancing all night and my hips, they're getting old. What's up, boss? Is Mum eating chocolate? Has Mum got food and she's locked you out of the kitchen? I prefer the term terrain jock. So do I. I have to deal with Vegas stuff. Okay. Oh, God. I've been speaking to my mate about your vids and he mentioned about you might getting a wireless tie mic. And you wear a small mic and transmitter, it gets sent to a receiver at PC. I've looked at those. I looked at a tie pin at one point, but I used to get a really lot of static moving on it and that sort of stuff. Yeah? Rudy's saying he likes Floquette. Mel, what are you most excited about for upcoming projects, tutorials? Probably my castle build. Yeah, but my castle build is going to be down to my patrons, or specifically getting more patrons. Yeah, the way it works is, right now, I'm producing typically 5 or 6 videos a month, yeah, which patron-wise, pretty much just about covers the bills. Yeah, like I say, it's been tight for the past couple of months, but it just about covers the bills. Ideally, I need to do 8. Now, making 8 terrain videos a month, yeah, really chews up your time. And so, to do a castle build, yeah, what I need to do is I need to get enough patrons that I only really need to do, say, 4 or 5 videos to be comfortable a month. Yeah, because that way I can spend 2 weeks doing 4, and the 5th can be 2 weeks on the castle build. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. I think, my castle build is going to be a target, and once I reach that level on Patreon, I will start the build. And then what I'll do is, the actual build itself, I think I'll release the live shows and the updates on Patreon. Yeah, so it's Patreon exclusive content on the basis that when it's complete, yeah, they go live for everyone, because I still want everyone to have access to that. But I like the idea that, you know, if the patrons are the ones that are making that possible, then they get to watch it live, and it's something a little bit special for them until, until, you know, it's finished and bang, it goes out. Hey Mel, what's your favourite snow effect? Oh, I have a lot. Depends on what sort of snow I want to do. Hey up, Lisa. I was talking about you earlier. You'll have to watch the start of the show. Good to see you, Duck. What kind of castle do you plan on making? To be truthful, it's a fantasy castle. I have this idea, yeah, of... It's a bit Game of Thronesy, is it the island castles? You know where they've got the castles on top of the stone pillars? I'm thinking something like that with a bit of a medieval city, the rope bridges. I want to get a waterfall in there. So rather than it be islands, be the edge of an island with some craggy pieces. Yeah? And so, you know, it's a water feature, it's a mountain feature. I want this idea of this sort of... You've got to work your way around it to get up it to the final level. So it's a bit computer gamey. You know what I mean? Where it was one of those level games where you've got to work along. So you dumped the 40k post-apoc sewer board. No, not at all. You see, the thing is, the 40k project I can break down into a lot of different easy let's make videos. You know what I mean? The castle board is going to be something that I turn around and they say, what have you done this week? And I say, I've detailed bricks. What have you done this week? I've done waves. You know, I'm talking about the castle build will be the best terrain I can possibly build, because I am putting no time limits on it. I will do what I need to do on it for as long as I need to do it until I'm happy with it, that I can do it no better. I'm always saying, you know, I don't show you my best work because I always feel pressured for time. Yeah? The whole point of the castle build is, if it takes me a year to do it, yeah, i.e. 6 months build time, then it takes me 6 months. But I want to build the best castle, best fantasy sort of castle. God, my eyes went big then, didn't they? I saw myself in the screen, it was a bit, whoa. Yeah? But the best one I possibly can. But I can only do that if I can invest time in it. And so, you know, that's where the patron thing. Oh, it's Mel's dream project. Yeah, it's if I don't like using the terms master and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, but if there was ever to be a piece that I will call my masterpiece, that's the one that I will stick the title masterpiece on, because it will be the very best I can do. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm making it money no object, time no object. I've got no creative restrictions on me, no external restrictions. The only restriction I have creatively, yeah, is the overall size, yeah, of the piece. Because I want to do a single piece board for it. And the only creative restriction I have is the size of my door, so I can get out of the studio. Yeah, so I've got to measure up the door and literally just make a couple of test boxes and make sure my idea, because I'm thinking about something that's going to be about 4 foot tall, yeah, and about 4 foot across, and it's the width and getting it round, because my door goes out into quite a narrow corridor, so I need to get it out, tip it up, rotate it round and get it down and out of a flight of stairs. Where will you store the castle build when you're working on the projects? Yeah. The best thing about when I regenerated the studio is, you know, when I have my big TV in the studio, that actual space was built to be 5 foot wide. Yeah, and what you call it? And actually, it's 3 foot deep. Hello, you. No, in fact, it's deeper than that. It's 3.5 foot deep. I actually built that shelf. The shelf wasn't built for the TV. I got offered the TV afterwards. Oh, listen, my brother's just trying to ring me, guys. My little brother. I'm just canning out for a second. Sorry, guys. It's my mum's birthday at the end of the month, so you know, it's something. So my little brother was giving me a call, and he was like, "Right, what are we doing? Let's get this planned." Yeah. Did you have stables on the medieval list? I did. Yes. Yeah. Melberg. Yeah, but Mel's going to make Helm's Deep on a cliff. Yes, something like that, but better. Plus, it's going to be gameable. It's not just a model. My idea behind it was I wanted to do cliffs, I wanted to do oceans, cold, harsh oceans. I wanted this idea of, imagine what you call it, sort of like the city bit on one side, yeah, the real fortress on the other side, and then having like 2 stone peaks with statues on it, and then a waterfall falling between the stone peaks, hitting the sea, with like a rope bridge running between the two. Yeah, and then in the city, what I wanted to do is do a certain like sort of a wintry or autumn tree, yeah, in the centre of a park with loads of medieval buildings. What I essentially want to do is I want to see if I can pretty much nail all the key elements of terrain building that are the most challenging. Architecture, medieval architecture, yeah, realistic stonework and masonry, yeah, brickwork, statues, an aggravated ocean. Do you know what I mean? You know, a stormy ocean, not a flat one. You know, big waves, lots of spray, that sort of stuff. A waterfall, rope bridge, statues, rock work, yeah, ornate tree. And those are all the sort of elements when I look at terrain. They're the really challenging stuff. So I sort of, when I was putting the build together, I wanted to include every single one of those elements so that when I do it, yeah, I can do the most challenging aspects of terrain building with no restrictions on me. So I can actually, right, Bose, let's see what you can do. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of a challenge to me as well. You know what I mean? Like, you guys know I'm my own worst critic. So I'm really interested. I mean, the drawings and the plans for it, I've been working on them for 6 months now. Yeah, and they're beautiful. I've got loads of little ideas for in situ vignettes. A vignette is a physical scene. Yeah, it's an artistic description for, you know, it's basically a diorama, but the point is a vignette is a diorama that is a motive to generate emotions, you know what I mean? So think of think of a muddy battlefield, think of a single flower, and then think of a tank just about to drive over the flower. It's also a diorama, but it generates an emotional response, you know what I mean? And so I've got so far, I think about 8 or 9 of those planned to hide into it. Yeah, little scenes that you can only see from certain positions through certain gaps and stuff like that. So little Easter eggs to find on it. If Jace isn't here, is Cat doing my Jace? Thank you, Duck. Well, I do watch Shade Diversity, mate. That's all the best bits on a castle board. Awesome. Yeah, this is it. This is what you see. I figure if I'm gonna do it, do it. You know what I mean? This is why the castle project. This is why it needs to be the patron thing, and it needs to be a big target, so I'm completely financially secure. Yeah, and I don't mean rich, guys. You know, I just mean bills covered, bit of reserve. Yeah, so I know that I've got 2 weeks every month. I can just my other terrain videos are done, editing's done. I can take it down, and for 2 weeks every month I can just build it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it afterwards. Because I can't imagine anyone could afford to buy it. And technically my patrons have paid for it, so yeah, I'm not allowed to raffle things off on Patreon before anyone suggests it. Sounds like you're going to do art, Mel. Yes, I am. It's part a game board, because I intend to make it playable, but it is part art. You know what I mean? I've got this little idea. There's a company out there that do sort of like a bit risque wargaming models, a bit on the kinkier side, you know what I mean? A bit dungeony, straight up Westy Street. Yeah, and I'm planning on putting a bit of a naughty scene in one of the towers of the castles, yeah, in one of the rooms, light it up with LED, yeah, and have a little window in it. So that the only way you can look in and see this scene of something going on, yeah, is to get close and really peek at it. And I want to put it on display at one of the open days and see if any of the old ladies, the cultural types, you know, the lovely types that come to these open studios, yeah, peek in to see if they can see in the room because of the light and go, oh! You need to draw that stuff out. People love visual. I'm not a brilliant drawer, to be truthful. I need to practice that more. Yeah, you can send it to me, Mal. I will gladly take it. Sell it to Warhammer World for AFS. paid you tonight's dues and joined in on Patreon. Oh, nice one, Odin. Thank you, buddy. Let me just check. Oh, yeah, we've got a couple more PayPalers. I've got to do it, guys. Your board you're watching has taken over. And it's just, you know, if I'm going to do it, yeah, gloves are off. Let's do it. And to be perfectly honest, I want to be able to do a single piece where I can turn around and say, right, this is where I am as a terrain maker. Because I'll be honest with you, with everything I've made, I honestly believe at the time I made it, I could have easily made it better with more time. Donated to your favourite figs or game club on a condition they display it as a proper piece of art. Don't look in the Tower of Filth. Tower of Filth. I will have to find out what the Latin for Tower of Filth is, or something like that. And we'll put a little Latin motto on it. We'll see if anyone gets it. But there's all these sort of ideas from it that I've been having. And so, do you know what I mean? Ewan, do me a favour. I'm not going to be able to have chance to copy that down. Message me that on Facebook, dude. I'll check that out. Mel's sounding like a pervert, but you know, I'm mixing with arty types. I'm more interested in the fine art now. Also, I'm after ideas for my castle. You can make it, and I know there is someone out there who will want to buy it for their private collection. About once a year I make one thing that is a treat to myself as a challenge. I like that, Jez. Tourist Swordom. Oh, Tourist Swordom, we like that. I'm mentally challenged, so I build. Every build I do is a challenge to me. Every build I do is a challenge to me. Set it on fire. Some men more just want to see the world burn. I couldn't. Right. Okay, right, we've got Harry sent a nugget. Thank you, Harry. Let's get Harry on the screen and our friend Odin. Yeah, our Viking historian extraordinaire. Odin's cool. He spends time in the summer living as a Viking. He's a proper medieval historian. You know what I mean? So he's awesome to talk to. Yeah, and then from our Odin. Yeah, he has sent 30. I'm going to have to dance for that because we've hit a dancing level. Come on then. Mel better get his dancing pants on, Andy. Here we go. Insane Commander's off before the dance. Oh, at least you can't see me face. You can't see me embarrassment. Actually, it might not be the best idea dancing in these, to be perfectly honest. We'll do a little one from here. You know what I mean? Mel's in his PJs and he's not wearing pants. So, no, we're not having a go for... I owe you one go for dance. Okay, guys? Yeah, but I am not losing my channel. That would be obscene. Westy, nugget, £1. Yeah. We call them nuggets because they're little gold chunks to us. Tower of Naughty, Turris Indurosum. Turris Indurosum. I like that. No, I can't do them on... No, I can't. Sorry, guys. But yeah, that's the idea behind the castle project anyway. That's why I think it needs to be a goal on Patreon when I reach that number of supporters. Yeah, because I don't want the castle build to be ever compromised by time. Yeah, and I don't want the castle build to compromise me putting out the videos that put food on the table, because I will resent it. Yeah. Now this is a build that's going to be in my studio probably for a year on the shelf that I will see every day. Yeah, which is why I need to be in a position that I can confidently say, right, every month, 2 weeks, you know, or a week minimum. You know what I mean? I'm not... So, do you know what I mean? But it's not going to become one of those things that I should really get back to that. Well, you technically put me in there twice, unless there is another Harry. In which case, I've got it wrong. Oh, bugger. It's Harry that's the what you call it. Sorry, it's Chris that sent the 30. Sorry, Chris. I got a little bit confused. It's Chris of. Sorry, mate. Right. Odin sent in a nugget, and let's do proper Jews where Jews respect. Chris O, he sent in 30. Thank you, Chris. Apologies for that, mate. Little administration error, but I'm glad we corrected it before it, because everyone deserves due credit. But once again, yeah, you're not getting a dance, not in these. Smart decisions. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I'm not doing the helicopter. The Bad Palace. Bad place. What's the Bad Palace? We'll have to come up with some names, because there's a couple of towers that I intend to do things with. I intend to do caves. Yeah, with little scenes inside with, like, sea monsters, tentacles coming up and grabbing people and stuff like that. But you'll only be able to see them if you get to a certain position. You know what I mean? Calm down. Yeah, but a certain position to look through rocks at a certain way. You could try the dance without the trousers if it bothers you that much. No. I had one woman scream at me this weekend. I don't need any more. Hey, Rolf. You better not hide my clump in one of the rooms. I'm going to dress it with your clump. Nice one, Watchcliffe. Nice one. Thanks, Harry. He's joined Watcher at Patreon as well. But no, the Bad Palace. Malice Domus. Malice Domus, the Bad Palace. I like that. But that's the idea. That's the idea with the castle build. Logistically, I want to be in a position where I have no restrictions. Financially, I have no restrictions time-wise. I'm going to put I'm giving myself a year to do it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be something that goes on and on and on. And I think, if I get like 3/4 through the year and I think, do you know what, this might need a couple extra months, that's okay. You know what I mean? But I still need personally to put it in a bit of a structure like that, or it becomes something that what I need is a goal, yeah, not a hope. Yeah, so I need to put a tangible time frame onto it. Hey Jane, I wonder if you can give me some advice on using cheap acrylic paint for airbrushing. I just bought an airbrush and a compressor. I've never done it before, so I just want to practice. You can use cheap acrylic paint, mate. You need to thin it down, but you will have build-up problems within the nozzle, so you will need to flush it through and that sort of stuff. The gruesome grottos. Yeah, with cheap paints, if you check the Back to Basics playlist, I did a video on using house paints and stuff like that and running them through an airbrush. So there's a video with everything you pretty much need to know already in the Back to Basics playlist, mate. Alphonse, I said build is what you live in, and it lets you, so the pinnacle of your text you've gained through this life. True. It will be a pinnacle. Like I say, it will be the only piece that I think I'll be able to turn around and say, this is my masterpiece. And this is the best. I'm less interested in being able to call it my masterpiece. I'm more interested in being able to stand up honestly, on the terrain building stage and say, this is as good as I can do. Do you know what I mean? This is my level. Depraved tower. Hey, a worm dragon? So yeah, just to wrap that up, the castle. That's the plan with the castle. Now I'm going to update my Patreon. The plan was to do a specific sort of like little Patreon campaign, a little push to see if I can build it up to the level where, you know, I only need to do 4 or 5 videos a month to be okay. Yeah, and so you'll be seeing that probably in the next couple of months as I get organised. You don't have any flow improver. If you want a flow improver, there's lots of stuff. Use anything that makes bubbles. Yeah, a tiny drop of washing up detergent will work as a flow improver. I mean, literally, yeah, one drop, yeah, in a big bottle of paint, watered down paint, is all you need. Yeah, and give it a good shake so it bubbles up, and then once it bubbles up and it calms back down, it's a flow improver. It'll work. Glycerin, will glycerin work? I have some glycerin. I've heard of people using glycerin as a flow improver. I don't understand the physics behind it, because whenever I've messed with glycerin, it's never sort of appeared to be a flow improver to me. It's almost like an oil, yeah, because it's a glycol base. So I'm not quite sure on that one. Do you know what it's like to look at your comments and realise, yeah, there's only a couple of comments you can actually read because people have decided they're going to talk in a foreign language on your chat show. Guys, come on, give me a break. Glycerin acts more as a drying retardant. Now that makes sense. That would reduce dry tip. Yeah, where paint builds up on the end of your airbrush, dries and stops flow. So I can see that working in airbrushing. But I couldn't see it as a whatchamacallit. I couldn't see it as an actual flow improver. Right, guys, come on. Speak English. Mel's boxing name. The bloke from Stoke or the gent from Trent? Thank you to Luke and Luke. I'm starting on a custom Cluedo board. Oh, that's awesome. 3x3. As soon as I get some spare cash, I'll drop you a few quid. Thank you, Adam. Nice one, bud. Yeah, and share pictures. Question, have you set a date for the Halloween build? No. Ironically, yeah, my mum was also born on Halloween, so I've got that and my mum's birthday to organise. There's a Halloween board? No, there's not a Halloween board. I'm going to just do a little tutorials, a bit of a comic. Yeah, and I'm going to try and see if we can make a little bit of a skit out of it. It'll be a let's make, but a little themed let's make as a little joke. It's probably going to be pumpkins and a scarecrow or something like that. The chat has been invaded by crazy Vikings. Hasn't it just? Oh, Westy sent a couple of nuggets. Let's get Westy on the screen. Thank you, buddy. How about a graveyard? Depends on the time. Graveyards can be quite time consuming. Yeah, not so much the graves, but actually the railings and all that sort of stuff. The day after Halloween is great for picking up styrofoam skulls and stuff. Isn't it just? Hey Mel, I've been watching you some time and now going to be diving into Drop Zone Commander scenery. So I'll be using a lot of your stuff for reference. Cheers for the advice. No worries, bud. That's what I'm here for. Bruise dry. Once I'm rich again, I will be more affluent. I heard your business is good. Well, the company you're working for is going rather well. I saw the photos of the new tower. Rather phallic, if I must say, and rather apt. So yeah, now moving forward, I've got to get stuck into a few Let's Makes. I've got two choices. I've either got to hammer the last of learning Premiere Pro, or very quickly get the old PC tower powered up just for doing a couple of videos. Yeah, but once I'm up to speed with Premiere, yeah, I'll be able to knock out videos a lot quicker. I pump too much money onto the 4 armies I'm building. See, that's why I take my time with them. Due to being inspired off here, I'm going to use an airbrush and mixing acrylics with flex medium. Oh, I've discovered I can colour leather in some impossible ways. Awesome, Jez. That's brilliant, mate. Do you have any idea where Jace is? Was missing last Sunday also. Jace is okay. He's just got some family stuff going on, guys. Yeah, I spoke to him not long ago. Yeah, he is okay. Your hour-long video made me become a patron. Was that the acrylic corking one? There's another one of those coming. I'm really nailing it down. I'm really getting my head around the stuff now. Just an idea. You could make a Christmas theme video. Just a little tutorial. Yeah, I could. Do you know what I mean? I may do, to be truthful. The problem has always been that I've always been under pressure, and so I haven't had the time to do them in time for when I needed to do them. You know what I mean? Because I've always wanted to do something a little bit extra, and it takes a little bit extra time. Yeah, and so on that basis, yeah, but yeah, I like the idea of, the occasional themed one. We've got 4 new products. Yeah, I'm sure you have, Westy. I'm sure you have. So no ideas on stopping clay from cracking. If you're talking about DAS air drying clay, give it a coat of PVA. Flex medium, I'm imagining it's a latex medium to mix with acrylic, so that the pigment gets bonded in a medium that is stretchy, so it doesn't crack. So you can spray paint on something that will stretch and move and bend, such as bags and that sort of stuff. Mel's nailing down the liquid nail. Yeah, Cat, he's okay. He's just got family stuff going on. I was thinking of using Flex Seal spray to put on a mat. Now, you see, I've never actually heard of Flex Seal spray, but, from knowing mediums and thinking flex and a little bit of lateral thinking, that's where I think it is, and I'm probably right. But I hadn't thought about using it as a sealant, so I'm actually going to hit Jez up, yeah, and find out, right about flex medium from his experiments to see if I can use them on the acrylic mat videos. The morning after bonfire is good for rocket sticks. It's brilliant. I'll tell you what, it's like Beirut or Basra or Helmand round here. I'm on a council estate, a rough one. I'll tell you what, they've already started. It's called Resolin. Horrible stuff, but it can be used like a medium. Shiny, sadly. Okay, I'll skip that one. Let me know how you gone. Could we use PVA as a flex medium? We typically do, and it is flexible because it's vinyl, but it doesn't do well with stretching. See my tooth is as a Halloween. Okay. Did you see that Osprey Games is going to release a new fantasy game that's 30, hundreds of models? No, I've seen something bouncing around. Joe Walker's saying Resolin is evil. That's experience talking. Does that work well on game mats? No, bounce is a foam coating. It's a plaster coating. Yeah, but it does work good on polystyrene. It's alright, Eric, but it's a bit difficult following a language, when a couple of people are speaking in a language you can't follow, and it's like, right, What are they saying? Have you tried 3D printing for small parts? I've dabbled in it a tiny bit. Yeah, it's one of those things that I got access to a 3D printer through a mate of mine at the studios, Kai, but I'd need to learn CAD to maximise 3D printing, and I haven't had the time to invest in learning CAD, and the desire to learn 3D printing hasn't been enough for me to warrant investing the time. Nice one, Jez. I saw a good video about King Game. That's the guy who used cheap pound crop decorators, cork and spray down decorators. She's worked to treat, but needed 3 keys. It rolls with no cracks. I've played with all sorts, mate. I've done one already, but I'm playing with all sorts of corking. Mantic are doing a skirmish version of Kings of War. Come on, Mal. It is not too hard to learn. Oh, bugger, I thought you were talking about 3D printing, not bloody Swedish. Just don't show the Vikings any weakness. The minute you do, they jump for your flock grip, wife and scrap phone collection. You can take my wife, but you'll never take my phone. Hey, no, mate, it's alright, Eric. I'm only jesting. And I know you're both good guys, to be perfectly honest. But it is a bit like, I wonder what they're saying. Right. Wrapping it up. We've got what? A couple of minutes left. I've got it down as 5 minutes to go. And to be perfectly honest, I'm knocking it on at the time now at watch at 10:30. Yeah. 1, bladder. 2, I've got a bit to do. I need to go and have a look at these tutorials and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and I need to get prepped for tomorrow. And I've got to ring my brother back and sort my mum's birthday. You know, you can't not sort that. The Swedes were saying how you get you and how much they like Luke's APS's videos. I like Luke's videos, to be truthful. I've only watched a few. Regulars will know I try not to watch fellow terrain builders' videos. Yeah? Just because I don't want to subconsciously pick up phrases from them, from their videos and stuff like that. Yeah? But I like Luke's videos. He's a good lad. I don't mean it like that. He's a good bloke. You know, I chat with Luke quite a lot. Luke's great for technical advice on audio stuff. He's given me a load of advice with microphones and stuff like that I'm slowly working through and that sort of stuff and figuring stuff out. Thank you, Westy. Yeah, but, you know, he is a good bloke. And if you don't sub Luke, you should. If you're interested in terrain, he is a good terrain builder. You know what I mean? Yeah, Luke's a bit of a mixed bag, yeah? Yeah, Luke's a bit of a mixed bag because he does all sorts of different stuff. So he does terrain, he does miniature painting, he does all sorts of cheap ways of finding things and doing things from... I think he was working on doing the GW wash. I think he found a way of doing the GW wash, Agrax Earthshade. Is that what it's called? I think I saw when I was passing one of his videos. Yeah, but he's good to check out. Because you're asking irrelevant questions, mate. Yes, missed the willow tree. Red Green, what you on about, mate? Thank you, Eric. Listen, let's not make this into a who's best. The fact of the matter is, just be glad we've got terrain builders on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? We are living the glory days. We've got some great terrain builders on YouTube. There's some great big channels. There's some great small channels. And terrain building is it. Considering we've had an explosion of laser cut, we're looking at explosion of 3D printed, we've got an explosion of resin casting. Manufactured terrain has exploded, yeah, over the past sort of 10 years in wargaming, yeah, and the level of manufactured terrain has exploded, yeah. But what I really like is the fact that even though that's exploded, terrain building has exploded as well. Right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up now. Right, let's call it, because to be truthful, how do you put the figures down permanently? Typically, you'll drill into the base of the figure or the foot of the figure, you'll insert a little brass rod in, and you'll use that as a fixing pin to fix in. Yeah, and that was the last questions. It's a great thing, all this artists, artisans and crafters, we all talk. It is, it's really good. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, we're going to call it. Listen guys, there will be a Thursday live show. Yeah, there will be videos coming out. There will be a Sunday show. Will there be a Sunday show? Yes, but I'm at Warlord Games birthday bash on that next Sunday. Yeah, so I will be telling you about that, and if you're there, I will see you there. But in the meantime, thanks guys. Love you all, yeah? Thanks for a cracking show. Nighty!